TorgyTalk. 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 This episode of TorgyTalk is brought to you by Fat Candle Company. Yeah, that's right. You hear me talk about it every week. I burn a fat candle every single episode. It's a great product. They're candles inspired by men's cologne. So if you like men's cologne, you're going to love these candles. I love these candles. My wife loves these candles. You guys got to go check them out. www.fatcandlecompany.com. And if you stay tuned towards the end of the episode, I'm going to give you a special discount code that's going to save you 10% on your order. So yeah, like I said, go online, www.fatcandlecompany.com. Go check them out. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to TorgyTalk. I'm your host, John Torgerson, along with my co-host and producer, Jack Man Johnson.
Yo, yo.
We got a very special guest, long overdue, Joseph Christopher. How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Thank you for coming. I know we've been talking about this for probably about a year now, I think.
Yeah,
give or take.
Might be. Like I said, you just had to give me a date, and I'm good about meeting my dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were here early. It was nice.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting that. That's why I was like, all right, we're going to. Yeah, I was like, we should start at, we should be good at starting at 11:30. You should be getting here at noon. I'm like, oh shit, 10 minutes early. It never happens with comedians. Not saying that all the comedians are late, Megan Loftus. She was only 3 hours late, but it's okay. Guys, if you don't know, Joseph Christopher is one of the co-producers for Second Best Comedy, as you see. What the hell was that?
I think you just got an update or email.
All right. We got an email. You got mail. And it's a booking from Second Best Comedy. What do you know?
Steam Deck available.
So yeah, why don't you tell everybody about that?
Okay, so yeah, Second Best Comedy is myself, Emilio Lopez, and Allison Moser, Big Al, as you know, friend of the podcast.
Hell yeah.
And I don't remember exactly when we started it. I want to say it was maybe Emilio and I, our first show, I want to say it was 2021. Ray Wisbrock was also not the headliner that night. Excuse me, it was Ton Johnson. And last night we just had another show at a new venue, the Final Girl Bar in Kenosha, a horror-themed bar in Kenosha. And Ray Wisbrock was also our headliner last night. Yeah,
I've done a few shows with him. It's like I feel like he'd hang out with my dad.
Yeah.
Just my dad listens to all, even the music he walks out to at the Vixen, at least, is like it's my dad.
Yeah,
when I see him.
Ray's a very nice man. He would hang out with anyone.
Yeah. He's very funny too. I like him. So you had a show last night at was that the first one at the what's it called again? Sorry,
it's the Final Girl Bar in Kenosha. It's a horror themed bar. It's a really cool space.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I love horror movies. So
yeah, and they got a private area in the back, so you can come hang out at the bar before the show, play some games, play some pinball, check out the space. It's really cool. And then there's a private room in the back where they have all kinds of stuff there. They have bands, trivia nights, bingo nights, I think even. It's a really cool bar, and Kenosha's really cool right now.
Is everything horror themed there? Like, so they have like horror themed, like trivia night or whatever?
Correct, okay. Absolutely.
I love horror
films. They'll pick a different series probably each week or something like that. I can't say too much. I haven't been, unfortunately. Yeah. But,
do you like, you a horror film?
Absolutely.
Horror film fan,
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean, I like films in general. I can't say I'm like super deep into horror, but I definitely like some of the older ones that I grew up with. Some that have come off the top of my head. Definitely Evil Dead's great.
I like the Evil Dead remake. The remake's pretty good.
Well, the same people who did the original, they just did it with good production money.
Yeah, the 2013 one, right?
Yeah,
that's a great movie, man.
Big one for me growing up, I would say, was The Gate and The Gate 2.
Never seen that.
Fucking great.
Okay.
Basket Case is also really good.
I just showed my friend Wolf Creek the other day. He was like, "That's a disgusting movie."
Okay,
I've never seen that.
I can't say I've seen that one. Is that the one about Sasquatch?
No, it's an Australian movie about an Australian seal killer rapist.
Yeah. All right.
Sounded like you said Australian seal killer. I'm like,
serial killer.
Okay. This guy's just going around fucking killing seals and raping them, dude.
I think I was thinking of
necroceliac.
I was thinking of Willow Creek. That's a Sasquatch movie.
Okay, Willow Creek. Okay.
Bobcat Goldthwait's Sasquatch movie.
Okay. See, I'm a huge fan of like the classics, dude. I used to love like Halloween was my number one, just the classic Halloween. Until recently, probably the last 2 years, I'm a Nightmare on Elm Street guy for sure. Like, dude, when that movie came out, like I was watching the movies we love, the Netflix documentary, and it was just talking about like that production on that movie was so ahead of its time. Like that scene where she's getting rolled around and thrown up on the fucking ceiling and shit. That's a rotating room. The whole room was on hydraulics. And I'm just like, and then the fucking blood that comes out of like, that was all, yeah, that's just like, I get fascinated behind the scenes stuff, you know? So I don't know. Horror films are great. I love horror films. I love Halloween. I'm a fucking pumpkin spice basic white bitch when Halloween comes out.
Pumpkinhead, that's another favorite of mine.
Pumpkinhead? Yeah. I've never seen that either. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I love horror films, but I'm not like cult classic, like, you know, I'm not like fully involved, which seems like that bar is like,
I know too many.
They like all the cult classics and shit.
I've seen a lot of them. I've seen Pumpkinhead, you know, Sleepaway Camp, April Fools, you know, like when they start coming in my head as I'm thinking about them more, you know.
Yeah.
But I do like a lot of the newer stuff too. Like I'm really into the Ari Aster stuff, you know, Hereditary and Midsummer. I thought were both really cool.
I've never seen those. Are those newer?
Hereditary is. Midsummer, I haven't seen yet either, but
okay.
Also, I saw this new one. Oh, man, I forget the director's name off the top of my head, but it's called Gaia. Just Gaia. And really cool looking horror film cinematography. It's kind of like almost like a fungus takes over. They're like deep in the forest. And it's just
I did see trailers for that. Yes.
Yeah, it's fucking really cool. Definitely, if you indulge, take mushroom sort of thing and watch a movie. You know, really cool.
There is what was it called? Like botched or something like that, or something you do where you scalp skin and put it on something else.
Grafting?
Grafted. Yeah, that's what the movie's called. Grafted.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fucked up movie already.
Dude, that movie, I got like halfway through that and it was like 1 a.m. Like, I want to finish this, but like, holy shit.
Yeah. Then also, I think it needs to be said before we move on from horror films. The Koreans are making some really cool ones right now, like fucking Parasite,
The Sadness,
Oldboy, and like, and then I think these are Japanese, but no, the ones I just said are Korean, but the Suicide Girls, which I think in some translations also called Suicide Circle. That's same people that made Battle Royale. Those are Japanese movies, but those are messed up like horror. Or gore films, if you're into that.
I like the Battle Royale. That was my favorite growing up.
Dude, I love. I really have tried to get. So Cora doesn't like. She likes scary movies to an extent. I jump more than she does, even though I know it's coming. Like I know it's when it's going to happen. But like that's why I'm all about like the newer like thrillers, like Insidious. That Insidious one is my top scary movie of all time. I think that one, and then The Descent. Have you ever seen The Descent?
If you watch Insidious without the soundtrack, it's not that scary.
I was going to say probably
Insidious, the one with the Tiny Tim song. All right,
that
was a good one, dude.
And then like whenever you see the face, it's like really high pitched, like
exactly. Without the soundtrack, it's not scary.
Yeah. Oh, dude, The Strangers. That's another really good movie. That's based on a true story too. Have you seen that one? That's based on a true story of this
family.
This couple goes to like their family cabin or whatever, and it's based on a true story. It's great, but like that song, that tiptoe through the tulips, that's the song, I think, isn't it?
Take my hands away.
Oh, you're right. No, hang on. What's tiptoe through the tulips? Is that Conjuring or Annabelle? One of those two? I don't know. But that song scares the shit out of me when I hear that song. Tiptoe through the tulips.
I mean, have you seen even the guy? Just watching that guy.
That's the Conjuring.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's what the tiptoe. Conjuring is also fucking terrifying, dude.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
All those ones that James Wan is
the tiptoe. That's the Tiny Tim song.
Is that? Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Okay. That's why I'm terrified of it. It's so fucking. That's the scariest movie ever. But yeah, any of those like old school like fucking records that like they ruined those songs. Like I'm pretty sure that song would have been great had it not been an Insidious. I would be.
I think that's a second life of it.
I mean, I guess it was a pop song in the 70s. I'm not sure, but. What the fuck was going on in the 70s where that was a pop song? You know? Like, there's so much other good
I think that's more than the 70s. I think that's earlier than the 70s. That sounds like 40s. When did that come out? Tiptoe Through the Tulips. That's a good question.
Jamie?
You want you want to pull that up, Jackie? Jackie boy?
Jamie Man Johnson?
Tiny Tim's song date.
67.
Is that Tiptoe Through the Tulips? Yeah, 60. Yeah.
All right.
Wow. So 7, yeah, still. I mean, that sounds like it's from the 40s, dude. Like, Jesus Christ, dude, you couldn't sing in anything besides a Campbell's soup can? Like, Jesus Christ, guy. Get yourself a Shure SN7B. Sponsor me, Shure. Just kidding.
He looks creepy as shit.
He does. He looks like he's, I mean, him singing that song, that guy looks creepy as all.
The movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
A long time ago.
He looks like the Candyman.
I couldn't even pull it up the Candyman, man. Yeah, because I have no idea what that is. So actually, last week, charity bang bang. Last week, on Torgy Thoughts, Jack and I were talking about Groundhog's Day, and I have never seen the movie Groundhog's Day.
What?
I saw it when I was a kid. So I didn't know the guy. I didn't know the groundhog's name was Puxtowny Phil.
Yeah.
So all last episode of Torgy Thoughts, I was saying Puxtowny Phil. My buddy's like, "Oh, you're so stupid." I'm like, "I've never seen the movie, dude. Like, you never fucking get mad at me. Don't spell your name like an asshole." I mean, and then I'm like, he's like, and Jack didn't correct you. I'm like, Jack's younger than me. I guarantee you he hasn't seen it if I haven't.
I've seen it a bunch, and I still might fuck it up. But what's it?
Look at
Puxatawny film.
Yeah, but it's spelled like an asshole, dude. It's like who's
Puxatawny?
Yeah, I said Puxtowny Phil, and I was confident with that pronunciation too. But you know what? It is what it is. So, how long you been doing comedy? I think I've talked to you about it.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of hard to say because I did have a break myself for over 2 years, and then COVID and everything. But definitely at least 7 years.
Okay.
Collectively.
Yeah.
You know.
Go ahead. No, you. No, you go.
I was just gonna say I my first time ever doing a mic. I want to say it was 2013.
Wow.
Laugh Out Loud Theater in
was it on a Sunday?
Yep. Yeah. It used to be first and third Sundays. I like back then. Place. It was called Mammoth Comedy.
Okay.
And then there was a whole bunch of drama. Someone fell there and got hurt and sued the theater, and they got pissed off at the person hosting the mic. It was a whole thing.
I went to that mic probably 4 times. I liked that place. That was the first place besides what's the place in besides Black Lung and besides Mackey's Hideout. That was the first
Mackey's Hideout's one of my favorite spots to do open mic. Yeah.
They still have their Monday mics. I'm thinking about going back because it's that was my first mic, and I'm coming up on my 2-year mark in March. So I'm thinking about when I hit my 2-year mark, going back there on a Monday night. That was
my first open mic too.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit. Yeah, I'm thinking about going there after my 2-year mark and being like, "Hey guys, I don't know if you remember me, but I did my first set here. Look what I can do."
Interesting. So yeah, I mean, I've done it a bunch of times. That one is one of the ones that it's very hard at the top to get them used to comedy because I probably did it 5 years ago. Right after things not 5 years ago. Right after things opened back up again, and they got their mic running again. Then I was definitely hungry, starving for stage time because all there was for a long time was the Terminus Theater in Lakeville.
See, isn't that where Billy's mic was?
No, that was not Billy's mic.
That's where Billy started.
Yeah, Billy
that's where he started. Okay. So I always, I remember on every sign-up sheet that Village had, he'd always write on the top "Thank you to Terminus."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's where he started, and that's where he met all of us, Lake and McHenry County comics. I mean, at the time, I want to say it was me, Stephanie Robertson, Jeff Warren, Denise Medina.
I gotta get her on here. I don't know her that well. She's very.
I've been on a couple shows with her. I could ask her.
No, AJ was later, actually. I think he was after Terminus.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of Lake and McHenry County people that came to Terminus a lot.
Wasn't Lopez? Emilio? Did you say Emilio?
Oh yeah, Emilio. Yeah. Fuck, I'm forgetting about Emilio.
I think you already said him.
My roommate. Yeah.
So how long did that last?
Terminus, maybe 2 years.
Okay.
And the cool thing about Terminus is it was every Tuesday, which is unusual for mics up here, because it's hard to keep a comedy only mic going up here in the burbs because there's not they're starting to get more and more comics, but basically once the comics start getting serious, then they start going to more city mics, whether it be Chicago or Milwaukee. That's exactly what I do. And
that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't a lot, because basically what happened is it got to the point where I was getting bookings and I wanted to work on my act more. And I also work a lot Monday through Friday, I run a housekeeping contract on the Navy base. And so
shout out United States Navy.
Yeah, stage time is super thank you for the contracts. So my time and going out and stage time is very valuable to me. So like driving an hour and a half to the vault.
Right. Yeah.
I haven't been for 3 minutes.
The vault's praised right now.
You know,
so many comedians talk about how awesome that is.
I've heard the mic's getting shittier there now.
I think they're saying it's awesome because because
I've heard it's very shitty now for the mic. From what I've heard,
I mean, I've never had a great time there. I mean, one time I was there, I think they had a pretty good non-comic audience, but I mean, I've probably only been there like 5 or 6 times. But
I'm more speaking from like the professionals at tour. That when they come there, they love it.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. A big thing is the Comedy Vault is bringing in big headliners that you would want to open up for, because that's what you want, is you want to either host or feature for
someone who gets in the comedy store.
Someone that you like and look up to and respect to. And the dream is that then you impress them and they're like, oh,
hey, next time I'm in town, you want to open again?
Exactly. No matter where they're at.
What AJ Leidig is doing for Matt McCusker.
Yeah, and if next time they're not at the Comedy Vault, they're at Chicago Theater or something. You know,
or like that. For James McMahon.
Yeah, James McCann. Yeah. That's the same situation. Yeah. So that's a very good point. I haven't gone to that usually because of the fact it's a Monday, Mike, right?
It used to be Wednesdays, actually. They just moved it to Monday, I think, because the Wednesday comedy mics started getting saturated.
Well, you got Red Room, you got fucking
100%.
Comedy Plex.
That's smart.
And even Comedy on State. I know it's far away,
I'm gonna make
one
a
of
trip
the
up there.
best comedy. That's one of the best clubs in the country.
I was told to go up there and just say, get there early. It was like sign up online or whatever. Or you can sign up online, right? Or is it a bucket draw?
No,
I forget.
You sign up online.
So you sign up online. I heard like Amy told me she signed up online and she got there like before the doors were open, and there were like the people that ran it were there, and she's like, hey, I'm from out of town, and they let her go up. So if you say you're from out of town, I'm planning on making a trip. If anybody wants to go up on Comedy on State on Wednesdays with me. Okay, so we got Jack. I know fucking Addison.
Wednesdays are easy for me to do. Yeah.
Well, let's go this Wednesday.
Yeah, because that's the day that
I don't have anything planned for this Wednesday.
So you can.
I was also going to try to start going to a Comedy Plex a little bit more, because I've seen that but
they do that one thing where women get like 5, men get 3.
Yeah, so Jack and I went to Comedy Plex one time.
And I did a great 3.
You did a really good 3. I did okay. It was kind of a quiet night there. It's a great club, but I just like that's another spot that I would like to start going to more, because they seem to be booking off their mic. I mean, a lot of these clubs are booking off mics now.
3.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's 4.
Is it 4 and 3?
You get the light. And
also there's only like 4 girls that show up there.
Exactly.
So you're giving up 4 minutes. It's not a big deal, dude.
I know, but but I'm used to 5 minutes or like get the light at 4. So I'm like, all right, I'll have to cut this joke out.
So another thing about city mics that sucks too is like, you go to those mics that are capped out at 25. You got to get used to doing 3 minminutes instead of 4. 100%. So it's like, fuck, you got to, it's like a challenge almost.
But sometimes if you have a hard 3, that's all you need.
I had the set that got me second place at Red Room 2 weeks ago was 3.5 minutes. And I had another chance to put in another joke. And I literally say in my set, you know what? I've learned to walk away when it's good. You guys have a good night.
Oh, yeah.
And I literally said that. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to send that to bookers. Maybe they'll get through the whole set and they'll see that part. But, we'll see.
Going out on a laugh is key.
I'm sending new. I was going to tell you, I'll show you the clip. I'm sending bookers now. It's not 12.5 minutes anymore. It's 4 minutes exactly.
Watchable.
It's probably one of my best 4-minute sets to this day. I think I was just having a fucking blast. It was so much fun. That 688 joke hit really good. That Medea joke that I told that at Babs. You were there. That was the first time I told that.
Keep the bits off the air.
Hey. that bit's posted on my TikTok and Instagram. That's one of those bits where I was like, I really want to post that. I don't post too many of them, but it's like when they're like somewhat topical, when it's not to do with me, when it's not like a personal story about myself, I'll share it. Except for that. So you
need more ginger jokes.
I do.
It is a balance. Like you want to post something that's like topical and hit it when it's like
hot.
Yeah, but also you don't want to post the joke till it's good and crushing.
Right. Exactly.
And
that's why I waited. It took me 6 recordings to get the one I wanted, and the one I posted is still. I should have waited one more because I got better laughs on the next time I told it. But it's still got some good laughs. It's why I'm very proud of that joke. It's such a fun joke to tell, and it gets black people laughing very hard. And that's my goal in most of my acts. Yeah. And I wrote all my jokes by Addison O'Neill. So if you black people, I'm just kidding. Jesus Christ.
Never when you said the N-word in front of Addison?
No.
I do.
I never said that. He asked me one time, he's like, He's like, when I type it to, when I send it to you, do you read it out loud? I'm like, no. Like, what do you mean? No, I don't even think it, dude. I spell it out phonetically. Shout out Asin.
Well, you didn't call him the N-word. You were just saying,
Jesus,
I'm not letting this go.
Holy shit.
Your producer's a snitch.
Yeah, it's okay though. He's cool.
That's why I'm here.
So you just hosted CG's.
Recently, right? And I'm coming up again there in March. Yeah,
fuck
I'm
dude.
Hosting.
That's how you got to write your name on the wall, right?
Vince Carone. Yeah, fuck yeah. Dude. I wrote my name like a year.
You did small. I like that. You did nice and tight, really good.
I wrote my name like a year ago, you know, but I just didn't. I'm kind of bad at that, like posting a lot and like, I guess celebrating things sometimes.
You're older. No one likes a poster, but like you have to have the right moment.
Yeah. Early 40s, right?
Yeah, I'm 42.
So you're kind of past that. Like we're in the age that I'm on the ass end of the social media train. You know what I'm saying? So like it makes sense on why you don't post a lot. I mean, fucking.
But I mean, I understand that it's important.
It is very important.
Like, that's why not lost on me.
That's why I want to get better cameras for this because a lot of people, the majority of I'm getting listens on Spotify and Apple, but you have to fucking put it out on social media to get it out there. So it's like it's kind of like a fucking double-edged sword. It's like,
I know. I used to like. I say I used to, but we're talking just like a year or two ago. Have a very not necessarily maybe negative opinion of the basically posting your journey of learning stand up, you know, before you're actually good at it.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, but those people, they're getting a following, they're getting engagement from this following,
right?
From people that want to do it as well, you know, and that's part of like when you get to a certain point that you can sell tickets. Hopefully when you get there, you'll be able to back it up, you know, but there's a lot of people that can back it up, but they can't sell tickets, myself included, you know, like we sold 24 tickets last night, you know, like I would like to be selling them. I mean, the room could comfortably only hold like maybe 45 or anything, but I'd like to be turning people away,
right?
You know,
for sure.
Then the comics will also get paid more, you know,
right?
The comics did all right last night, but I did have to like call in favors from friends because I had to give the guarantees out of my pocket because I had no idea.
So that was the first one, right?
Yeah. I had no idea what kind of money we were going to make. But I mean, to put it this way, I feel like the comics got adequately compensated for what they came out. And I mean, they all got their guarantees. And I mean, I hosted and produced the show and only got $20. You know, it's like, but I did 18 minutes throughout the night of stay, you know, because the owner wanted a break, and I'm not going to make someone go up cold after a break. So if I'm hosting,
break? That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, yikes.
I mean, some owners are going to want that, and if like you want to put on a show, you want a space,
I guess.
Especially if it's a good space, and you want to put on a show there. If owners have certain requests, like that's another thing. She wanted a dark comedy themed show because it's a horror bar, and I'm like, there's not
Halloween, maybe.
Because there's not a lineup here in the area that I can consistently get only dark comics coming out every month.
Right,
you know?
Right. Just have Easy Trevino headline every week at that point.
I mean,
if they want dark comedy, he's the darkest.
Well, here
so far. Shout out Easy.
No, I'm not gonna. I got a message from the owner, like a day or two before the event. Where can I see it? I'm in second. Yeah.
Damn, we're on the same cycle. We started that at the exact same time, guys.
And the last time too.
Oh my god, dude.
I mean, I'm not going to read it verbatim, and I don't want to discuss it too much. But basically, she said she wanted to double check to make sure, especially because the description was not for the easily offended. Because I'm just marketing it as the theme that she asked me for, you know. Not everyone I booked was dark comics. Ray was the only dark comic, really. I'm pretty dark actually sometimes, but Ray was the only dark comic, and I just asked Chris because I knew he could handle the assignment. I asked him to kind of lean into dark, and he did, you know.
I mean, Jack's pretty white, but he's he's dark. No,
but so she sends me this thing, and she's like, I just need, because she's her name is Chelsea. She's awesome. Final Girl Bar in Kenosha. Woman-owned bar. She's a lesbian woman, and she sends me this message. She's like, I just want to triple check with you. Because some of my friends want to come to the show, but they're worried there's going to be like transphobic material because
a little bit.
She's like, there's a comic that's been going around Kenosha, who, and he's been doing like hateful material and transphobic material. I heard he got like banned out of different places.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah. And I just assured her, I was like, no, I was like, there's not going to be any hateful material. I was like, I can likely guess who you're talking about, and I didn't book him for the show. And so, yeah, like, I mean, but you don't want to have a reputation like that if you want to get booked, you know? Like, what she doesn't know is the work and what it takes and how hard it is to be a comedian. And when you're starting out, you're trying absolutely anything, you know? And you know, some people fall into like a pattern where they think offending someone because it's funny to them, they think that that's funny, but you're an entertainer. You're supposed to be entertaining the people in front of you, especially if a venue is paying you money or if a booker is paying you money. They're paying you money to entertain that crowd in front of you. Right. If offending people is funny to you, you're only making yourself laugh. That's masturbatory, and you're only servicing yourself.
I like that, masturbatory.
Who's going to pay you to stand up on stage and jerk off in front of a bunch of people? That's basically what you're doing.
He'll pay you. No, I feel what you're saying for sure. Yeah, that's definitely. It works in a room that demands that, but like when you're in a room that's like. You're not going to get away with that at Windsor Pizza.
Yeah, but I mean,
right now, like
what I do works in all kinds of rooms.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I can do my dark, dirty, fucking terrible, downright evil shit sometimes. I can do it in those rooms, but I can also go into a more uptight room and be like, well, yeah, I can't do my Wiccan molestation joke here.
Yeah,
but I can still have other fun,
right?
You know, because for me, the fun and the buzz. And I get high from crushing. Yeah. You know, and that's what the goal is for me. That's what my motivation is. And so if I'm in a room of like more uptight, like, you know, older white people in their late 40s and 50s and sometimes even 60s, I still want to have fun with these people, you know, because that's what is the motivation for me and what makes me have fun.
Yeah, the ability to crush in front of any single crowd. It doesn't matter the time or day.
I mean, that is also a currency with me. You know, like I value that. Like
people that favor, like that's if I can make those people laugh, I have the best time because that's usually what my crowd is. It's a bunch of 40-year-old white people and their couples. I'm like, if I can make these two laugh, I'm having a great time because.
I mean, that's another thing. Like, there could be a crowd of like 15 people, and let's say it's all just comics, but there's two regular people that just walked in here out of nowhere. I can tell just by their faces if I'm like crushing for them, and I can have a good time with just those two people.
Yep, exactly.
You know, and maybe at some point other people will join in.
Right.
You know?
For sure. Yeah, no, I definitely, the ability to be able to crush in front of any room is skill for sure. And it's, I mean, like, I've talked about it 3 weeks in a row now, is the Windsor Pizza show, because that was like the most interesting show I've had to do yet. I'd say that's the most challenging show I've had to do yet.
And the only show you had this year.
So far, I got 3 books though. That's like, literally, I think I only had 6 shows last year. So I'm already almost at my fucking, you know,
your limit.
Exactly. Yeah, my limit. Yeah, this is only it. You get me 2 more times this year, guys. No, but like, you know, that was the most challenging show I'd had to this date. Just not that the audience was bad, but like I told you, they interjected with me. They talked to me. Like one lady specifically talked after one joke, and I brought it back, and like I was able to keep them chuckling. Like I wasn't crushing by any means, but I was able to keep them involved and keep them interested in. Like I really noticed that I'm like, okay, so my dad material crushes with the 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, which obviously most of them are already, you know, their kids are out of their house already, so they've gone through all this. Mm-hmm. I'm going through what they went through when they were younger. So that's something that I'm trying to dig out some more dad stuff. So I have that like backup, like, hey, shit, oh, this is a different crowd. I need to bring out the adult friendly, you know, the fucking 40-year-old comedy pretty much. So I'm pretty much kind of trying to build up two sides of my sets. Kind of like I'm trying to like in my normal set. Like if I were to go do the Vixen again, I think I would have a little bit of a mix of my storytelling and dad stuff on top of like an occasional black joke, and then but at a show like Windsor, I wouldn't do any of the black jokes anymore because I think I did one. I did the black noise.
Black jokes.
Well, everybody knows I love my black jokes, guys, but I only tell like 3 of them. But it's just the fact that joke, I was like, in the back of my head, I'm like, this is not going to do well, but it's in my set. I would have liked to have had something planned for if it didn't, I wasn't, it's an experience. So like now that I knew in the back of my head, I'm like, well, I'm just going to commit to it at this point. I didn't have anything else planned. I was like, fuck it. So I just went with it. Didn't do terrible, but I would like to have something, planned.
Are you talking about the ass joke, the white man ass?
No, I don't think I did that one. I think I did my black noise joke.
Okay, all right.
So that one, they just didn't get it. I think they were just a little bit too old to know
well, that
Cat
one does
Williams.
Work, though, so
it does. But like I think that they were just a little too old of a crowd to know who Chris Tucker is, too old of a crowd to know who Cat Williams is.
You got to do the Kevin Hart.
And I knew that.
You want to go night?
Well, even that, I think they were too old of a. If I would have said like Bernie Mac or Eddie Murphy, it might have been a little bit of a better. So maybe I just got to learn those impressions and just change it up when I do it in front of different people. But like I said, I just would like to have a backup plan, which is part of this whole comedy journey is just trying to do it in front of different crowds.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I've kind of learned about like impressions or even voices at all is you just have to fully commit and you can't be afraid to kind of look like an idiot. And that's very hard for me.
I've done that in front of 200 people. You know how awkward that is?
I mean, I don't
so awkward, dude.
Yeah, I don't do many voices at all. I have the one, the sex worker impression, really. That's
a good one.
That's about it. I used to do like, I can't say I really had
those are the only
voices
two,
or anything.
Those are the only two I've ever done. I do really good like accents and stuff, but I don't want to be like, I'm not trying to be an impressionist by any means. If I could do it like Jay Farrow does it, 100%, I'd be doing fucking impressions left and right. But that's not something I want to really. I don't want to take time away from just the actual joke writing and take time because the impressions take a minute. Like the Chris Tucker, I do a decent Chris Tucker. It's not even that good, but like if a black guy tells you the Chris Tucker's good, it's good. And then if another black guy tells you the Cat Williams is good, it's good. But like I was gonna do a Bernie Mac. I'm like, he's from Chicago. I have to make that perfect. Like I'm like, Cat Williams is kind of like if you were closing your eyes and you heard someone trying to do Cat Williams, you could say he's trying to do Cat Williams. It's pretty distinctive.
The thing is Bernie Mac is still more niche, kind of because we know him very well because we're stand-ups and we like comedy a lot, but I don't think Bernie Mac, even though he had a show on WGN or something, I don't think he ever got to the level of fame that someone like Cat Williams or even Chris Tucker got to because of those Rush Hour movies.
Yeah, for sure.
The combination of Friday and the Rush Hour movies all around the same time.
Right. Makes sense.
Chris Tucker's Friday too.
Yeah. Just the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I second guessed myself.
He's still in rehab for weed. And next Friday.
Yeah. Even though the second one is good. Too.
Next Friday is probably my favorite. Honestly, dude, Day is the shit. I love that shit. I didn't see those movies till I was in the army, dude. Like till I was in my 20s.
Well, Reese Witherspoon or John Witherspoon, I should say, not Reese. Yeah, the guy who does the dad.
Oh, Willie Jones?
Yeah, he's
dead. Yeah,
grandpa.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say he's dead like that. But
no, I didn't know.
He just died recently, 2 years ago.
But he's grandpa from Boondocks.
No shit.
Yeah, so when Boondocks did a rehab, John Witherspoon was dead, but his son does John Witherspoon's voice.
No shit.
Amazing, and he does voice acting.
Uncle Willie.
Yeah, and
put some hot sauce on my burrito, baby.
They didn't hire him.
Really?
Yeah, that's why the Boondocks failed after that new season.
Okay.
Well, everyone hated the grandpa voice because it wasn't fucking John Witherspoon's son. They fucked up.
Every time I'm in the kitchen, you're in the kitchen. Eating up all the food.
Well, you should look up too. So John Witherspoon, before he died, he had a cooking show.
Did he really?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Was he making pig's feet?
Dude, it is fucking hilarious. I'll look it up for you guys. Hold on.
Oh my god, dude! Like I said, I didn't see those movies till I was in the army. My buddy Anthony Torpin, shout out him. He showed me all the Fridays. I just. I grew up in fucking Johnsburg. We had 3 black people at our school. I was not introduced to black culture until I got in the army.
Yeah, no, I grew up here in Johnsburg too. And I have
you know how it is. Yeah.
I have a line in the act where I talk about being Mexican American, being biracial in the Midwest. I have some, quick jokes about that. And then like the end of what I would call my small town Mexican American bit. Because I broke my act when, like, whether it's 15 or 20 minutes, I break it down into kind of like themes or movements so that it helps me with memorization.
Right.
Like I start out old, small town Mexican, dating, etc. I have a line that is the cap to the small town bit where the line is like, up until my second year of high school, I was the only black kid, and that's because I grew up here, right here in Johnsburg, in the 80s and 90s.
We had, I graduated in 2012. We had 5 black kids, I think, and I was not.
And you bullied all of them.
Yeah, no, and I mean, my shit is true. My sophomore year of high school, Nate Sanders moved in. I think he was adopted. Dated my friend Crystal Kogut. I'm going to name drop a lot of obscure names, but if you have local listeners here to McHenry and
I do,
and Johnsburg,
that's most of the listeners. Actually.
A lot of friends.
All right, so I can name drop a lot of names.
Keep dropping some. I might know them.
Yeah,
let's look them up. See if they get any records.
I also like.
Hang on, you're in the age group of like Brian Carrick, right?
Oh yeah, my friend
was he in your class?
I mean, no, I was a couple years older than him, but they put my friend in prison.
You know Mario Cacharo then?
Yeah,
he was falsely accused in prison for what? 4 years?
No,
or 2 years?
A little over 2.
That's insane. Mario and Luigi are in prison.
Yeah,
Mario's out. No, Mario's a lawyer. Actually, he's defending people that got falsely accused.
Exactly,
because he was falsely accused and put in prison for 2 years because he's Italian.
Oh, then he got
literally because he's Italian.
Yeah, and
because his dad owned Val's and they thought that he had fucking mob ties.
Yeah, I don't like talking too much about that. Like that was big for my because like it split friends.
It's a documentary, isn't it?
There's a podcast on it.
I had friends who like I didn't talk to for a couple years because they were weird about like people fully believed 100% the narrative that the Johnsburg police put out and stuff.
Right, and that narrative was bullshit.
Because this was years before that 2020 documentary and all that kind of stuff. And it like. I don't presume to know exactly what went on, but even the full story that Johnsburg police puts out, I think is bullshit for what they did to Mario.
That officer, that officer especially that was in charge of the case. Again, he's gone.
I feel like I'm already speaking too much on this shit.
Fine, dude. We're locals, baby.
I'm friends with Mario Cacharo. Another friend of mine had to testify in that. Like my best friend had to testify in that shit. And
your best friend Steve Denson.
No,
one of the Saunders.
No, but I know Steve Denson very well too.
I was gonna say I know all of them. Sorry.
Yeah.
Shout out Steve.
My friend Tyler, he was owner of Effatelli for many years. Started it when it was here in Johnsburg.
Okay.
But all I want to say is like I remember for a long time myself and my mom, we worked in currency exchanges, and all the police from like Spring Grove and Fox Lake would all do their license work through the Fox Lake currency exchange. And she tells a story and remembers this time where the Spring Grove police was talking to her, the chief of police, I believe I want to say at the time, because they did all the like perimeter stuff to help Johnsburg, like secure the perimeter and things like that. And he flat out told my mom at the time, he's like, they messed this up so much, they're never going to find out what happened.
Wow.
They botched it, the investigation from the get-go so badly that they're never going to find a truth of what happened or where this kid is at.
According to that podcast that I listened to, I think it's, I don't remember the name of it, but
it's the
only podcast out there on it. He's in a fucking gravel pile in Thielen.
All right.
And I may have dumped him at a job site.
Or pieces of him.
But literally, dude,
I shouldn't make jokes like that.
No, it's not. I mean, it was what, 20 plus years ago?
No, it's just I'm friends with people who
I
cared about
I get it, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it is.
You're a comedian. You're allowed that.
But at the same time, it is a very touchy subject for Johnsburg. It really is because honestly, yes, but there may have been corruption behind the whole investigation. I think there was with the lead officer in charge.
I'm not claiming any corruption of any type. I'm claiming incompetence.
I'm claiming either incompetence. But if you go back and listen to that podcast, the lead investigator in that case, he starts with an N. He's no longer an officer in Johnsburg anymore.
Okay.
After that, but it just seems so fucked up. It seems like he's hiding shit. Like throughout the whole thing, But yeah, man, I mean, just the fact that they and the real guy that did it, Rob Render. Did you know him by chance?
No, I mean, no, I didn't know him very well.
So his dad worked for Thielen. His dad was an operator at Thielen. That's why they believe that the remains of Brian Carrick was brought to fucking one of the pits on all four corners.
Well, also because him and his dad were spotted in a truck at Rock Corner,
and his dad's truck was spotted. His dad's truck was spotted from the McHenry State Bank. That's right there at the fucking corner of Ales. That camera spotted his truck in the parking lot the night he died. So therefore, Rob Render killed him, and then fucking his dad dumped him, and then Rob Render OD'd so he could never go to jail. Boom. Yeah. Problem solved.
Rob Render, the rear end world.
Jesus Christ. That is seriously though. Like every time anybody, like I've mentioned Johnsburg, like I live in Johnsburg. Like Johnsburg, really? Like, that Johnsburg.
That's our only fame. No, people should be talking about Clay Guida
or CJ Fedorowicz. I played with him, threw touchdowns to him, 12 in 5 games, no big deal. He went to the NFL, played for Texas for 4 years. No, really?
No.
CJ Fedorowicz. So he graduated in 2010. We went to the playoffs in 2009. I got bumped up to varsity. Played quarterback from week 8 through the quarterfinals, and up until that point, that was the furthest Johnsburg has been in this. And now they've been to state. But CJ Fedorowicz, he was 6'7", 260 senior year. Excuse me. He got drafted, or he went to Iowa for 3 years, and then got drafted to the Texans. Played there for 4 seasons. Started his last 2, and then got 4 concussions in 2 years and retired.
Okay.
But yeah, besides Clay Guida, CJ Fedorowicz, and then Melissa Dixon. She was actually the leading scorer on the Iowa women's basketball team until Caitlin Clark got there and destroyed everything. Or she was I think she held the record for 3-pointers, I believe. Melissa Dixon. She ended up going to Australia to play pro ball for a couple of years, and then now she's Now I feel like the WNBA is more attainable with sponsors, and like I feel like their views are going up. You want to talk about women's basketball?
No,
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
I don't know anything
about
any
sports.
I don't think. Okay, I was gonna say I don't think anybody knows anything about women's basketball, even the women that are playing it. But
a little bit about combat sports, like growing up and in my 20s and stuff, getting boxing pay-per-views and then UFC pay-per-views and stuff like that. But otherwise, never.
No sports. No. You got a Tennessee Titans hat on.
I buy a hat just because it's got a T on there because my stage name. No, my stage name is Joseph Christopher, and my last name is Torres. So I wear hats that just have a T. I wear Tennessee. I guess it's Tennessee, and also Texas Rangers hats.
So why don't you get a cross in your neck when people say it's like, oh, you're religious? Like, no, this is a T.
Yeah, maybe get an uppercase T. Yeah, I don't think you want a cross.
That's what I tell people when I see them with a cross. Like, what's the T stand for?
Jesus Christ. Oh, man. So comedy for 8 or 7? You said 7?
Yeah,
7-ish years?
At least 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't even know how to word this. I guess it would basically be like, just, I don't know.
What's your route Mount Rushmore?
Yeah. Thank you. I didn't know where I was going.
So 2 comics I want to be like, I would say, and then 2 comics I super respect for just writing and the amount of material they put out. My Mount Rushmore. Yeah. My Mount Rushmore is Norm Macdonald, Louis C.K., Mitch Hedberg, and Rodney Dangerfield.
Dangerfield's the one we haven't heard yet, honestly. Yeah, but yeah, the other
I think everyone says. Mitch
Hedberg.
No, what was the second one you just said?
Norm Macdonald, Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. Everybody says Louis.
Okay,
and so
it's because he's
I know
probably the best performer. Now that Norm's dead,
best writer.
I think he's probably the best living performer of comedy right now.
Mm-hmm. This is probably a terrible thing for me to say. I've never seen an entire Louis stand-up. Or a special. I've only seen clips. I think he's hilarious. I think he's hilarious.
They're the best.
I think he's very hilarious. I'm not saying that I just not watching him because I just haven't.
Yeah, you know I mean, obviously he's going to polarize some people after everything, but also he polarizes some people that are even only thinking about the comedy. Like another local comic who's an old pro, absolutely pretty much destroys every time I see him, no matter what the crowd is like, young or old. Local guy, Vince Morano, living in Woodstock here. I brought up Louis C.K. one time to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't like him." He's like, "What?" One time I saw him, his punchline was, "My baby's an asshole," And like he immediately like dismisses Louis C.K. because of that. And that was hard for me to hear because of how much I respect Vince Morano too, you know? But obviously people have different opinions and views of looking at comedy. But to me, I'm like, don't you see it took work to get it to where people are going to laugh at that line? That's the setup.
Right.
And to me, it's just almost like avant-garde or punk rock way of finding a new way to create a punchline.
Right.
You know, like you don't want it to all be formulaic and always rhythm based. Sometimes you want to just be like, well, can I get a laugh with this? You know, can I get a laugh here while saying this? Because I'm also an artist and trying to express myself. There is that balance that you have to have, which is being an entertainer and being an artist, you know,
for sure.
And to me, that's why, and I want to say to Vince sometime, when I bring up the courage to bring up Louis C.K. again to Vince, I want to say you should watch the HBO thing. I think it's called Talking Funny. It's Louis C.K., Chris Rock, Jerry Seinfeld, and Ricky Gervais just talking about comedy, the nuts and bolts really about writing and performing comedy. And
I need to watch
when you see
someone else I think you told me to watch that.
It's
actually.
amazing.
Wait, what was it called again?
It's called Talking Funny. I mean, you can watch it right on YouTube.
I think you literally told me to watch that.
And I mean, you get how intentional a line like "My baby's an asshole" is when you watch the man talk about what goes into writing and performing comedy. And you see how that it is intentional and it took work to get to the point where you can get a laugh from a line like that.
Right.
Especially when, after he says, "My baby is an asshole," and gets a laugh, he says, "I understand babies in dumpsters now." And then gets an even bigger laugh.
Right.
You know, like to me, maybe like it's a simple line or whatever, but he destroys with it.
Right.
That took work.
Yeah.
And it was an intentional effort.
I will have to tell you, like I said, I have never watched an entire like performance of him. I've seen 5-10 minute clips. I promise you guys by next week I will have at least watched one Louis special. Promise you that because because I know he's very funny. Every clip I've seen, I've laughed out loud, and he's very.
I would either watch the most recent one, or especially because you're a dad. Shameless is very good, I think.
Is it on
especially,
Netflix or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or no, I think they took all of it shit off.
After everything FX doesn't even show it. You have to buy the box set off of Louis C.K.'s site for the Louis show.
But I mean, you can get all his specials for like $25.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. His online site
and
sells
it's worth
everything.
it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely worth it.
So I actually had a joke back in the day. I've rewritten it since, but it was about VR porn and
no bits on the air.
it's no bits. It's an old bit. It's an old bit. But no. So I got laughs from comics or people who like follow comedy because I would say like, you know, I was so unaware when I was wearing these VR goggles that my wife could just walk in at any moment and I would just be sitting there, goggles on my face, dick in hand, looking like an unaware Louis C.K. And it got laughs at at open mics. But then I think I tried it on a show and everybody's like, what? Like, he jerked off in front of people. Like,
I mean, sometimes you got to really work shit out.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
like you got to work it out to work till you can get it to where people are going to laugh at it.
Yeah,
you know, like
for sure.
I hate to keep talking about Louis C.K., but I want to one other snippet of wisdom. That's something I repeat to people often. That when we're talking about comedy, because it had impact on me. Is he said it on I think Your Mom's House podcast. He's like, all of those best bits, the ones that like people are quote, all you comics quote, and are like my bits that go viral. They all started in the clubs as something no one wanted to hear.
That's wild. That's
like,
so wild.
And he just had to work through it because you'd fight with it.
You'd think that something like that went viral, that was crushing the first time he told it. You would think, you know what I mean? But like, that just goes to show how much work goes into getting that.
You know what's going to work. You just got to find the right punchline.
Right. That's why you keep telling a shitty joke multiple times because you're like, I just fucking there. I just got to figure out what it is.
And that's also where I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's also where the entertainer thing comes in, where like you need their feedback. They're informing you on where to go and where the big laugh is at, you know, and that's you got to focus on that. Work that and work through it and fight with it back and forth. you know, and then you get to that juice, that sweet juice.
So what do you think about, like, so I have a friend that I kind of like tell all my jokes to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you?
I'm right here.
I have a non-comic friend that I tell a lot of my jokes to, and sometimes I will make adjustments off of what he says because he's not a comic; he's an audience member. I've had some of them hit to where it's like I try what he tells me to say just at an open mic. I'm like, yeah, I'll try that. Sure, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But like, what? I don't know. Is it what I'm basically trying to ask you? Do you think it's just like, should you take advice from an audience? You know what I mean? Like in a certain sense, like, you know what I mean?
Yes, to some extent, yeah.
Right.
You gotta recognize that they don't understand some things like performance aspects of things,
right.
But they can definitely inform, writing or content and things like that. Like. And I respect a lot of like someone whose input, I think, and why I got a lot of work from him early on, maybe even before I was ready, you could say, is Jared Corey out of Rockford. He used to run like, I want to say 6 different rooms, 6 monthly rooms, 6 shows a month. And like you could get in each of them like twice a year, and for someone like me, especially at the time, that was big. But even though he wasn't a comic, and I don't recall him ever once getting up on stage at an open mic or anything, he would, if you would listen and were receptive, he would give you input on your set.
Right.
And I mean, what I recognize is this dude's running 6 shows a month. He's booking 5 comics on each show. He's seeing a lot of comedy,
right.
And he's obviously putting on shows and putting work into putting on these shows because it is a lot of work,
right?
Because he loves comedy and is a fan of comedy, and those are your best audiences,
right?
So when he would give me input on like my sets and things like that, I would take it to, especially the stuff I responded to, I would take it and implement it, or at least try to,
for sure,
and see how it worked. Whether it was placing a joke in a different area, or, I mean, I can't think, because it was so years ago when he would give me it. He doesn't give me advice anymore now, but I would, and I think he noticed that I applied it. The next time he saw me do a set for him, I would make a note to be like, he said this time, why don't I try it in front of him? So he sees I'm willing, even though he's paying me money and it's a book gig and I want to crush, I'll try in his little suggestion,
Right.
And so that's how I got a lot of work from him, and that's because, all right, one thing that's hard at open mics only is like developing a strong act, the banter and stuff in between your jokes, and like transitioning from one joke to next. And like how I told you, I group them by themes or movements or whatever, the act as a whole. That's that's much harder to do when you're only getting 3 minutes or something like that,
Yeah, oh yeah.
And so getting booked by Jared, 12 times a year or something, what you like helped me work on my act and develop a better act.
For sure. No, that's cool to hear. For definitely, because like I said, I'm, take. I didn't know how to take advice from somebody that doesn't do comedy, because I obviously am going to take a comic's advice over an audience member's for sure, because they've been on stage, they've structured a joke, blah blah blah. But my biggest thing was like, when we were going back to when we were talking about dark comedy, when you really believe something is funny to you, it's like, all right, so I tell my friend that, and he's like, oh, that's not funny. I'm like, yeah, not yet. But like, so there's only so much advice you can really take from somebody until you've really like worked it out to the point where like, oh fuck, is this a dead bit, or is this something?
No, but I mean, yeah, I get exactly what you're saying, and it does make perfect sense. But at the same time, those are your friends would be someone who's in a comedy audience. So it's
exactly,
what I did for a lot, like especially when not many of my friends knew I was performing. There was only one friend. Shout out to Chris Nugent. One friend that I actually. Nugent. Oh yeah.
I went to school with this. I was really good friends with his brother Brandon.
Yeah, Johnsburg, man.
Oh yeah.
So he was the only person I probably told or let see me do comedy for the first couple of years, because I knew he was not someone that would blow smoke on my ass. He would be honest with me,
right.
Yep. And I got sidetracked. What we were talking about.
I think we were talking about just getting advice from an audience.
Oh yeah. So, your friends,
right.
This is the point I was saying, is what I would do. I would try jokes, like just at a dinner or a cocktail party or whatever and try a joke and see if it got any laughs and make a note of it. And I kept notes in my phone,
right?
And whether it worked or not, because at the time I wasn't getting a lot of stage time, and so I would try scenes like that. But my friends didn't know. Right. I didn't say to them, "Hey, this is a joke I'm working on." But then once I actually started getting booked a lot more and actually thinking of myself as a comic. And because all my friends, none of them are comics. I started comedy in my 30s, so I had an established friend group, network of support, everything. None of them are comics, but now they know and they've seen me perform at comedy clubs. So I have no problem now telling them, "Hey, this is a joke I'm kicking around," right. And they'll give me some honest feedback. But yeah, in the beginning, I snuck them in, and it made me look probably cooler, or to my friends, or it's like, we need to invite Jopa to more dinners and stuff, because I was just trying out shit that I've been working and writing, because I did write a lot before I ever got up on stage. I wrote for over a year, probably 2 years, writing jokes, and then I heard Norm Macdonald on a podcast. Someone asked him that like typical question, like, "What do you have to say to any young comics that are thinking about doing comedy?" And
do it.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, "Well, I'd say stop thinking about it and just doing it. The longer you think about it, the scarier it gets." And I was like, 100%. Right. I signed up for Laugh Out Loud online immediately, and I didn't make that first week. I still fucking chickened out that first week, but then I signed up again 2 weeks later because it was first and third months. And then I was like, "No, I'm not going to be."
That was your first experience?
Yeah, and I was like, "I'm not going to be out $10 now."
So I had that same.
Oh, you pay the $5? Yeah. Every time I did that, Mike, I'm like,
I had to go to the city to do comedy like that. Wanted to do comedy forever, and I lived right next to the Village where Billy started his mic, and I saw the advertisement. Like, dude, this is a sign. Like, I've been literally looking up directions to go to the Laugh Out Loud Theater, and then out of nowhere, open mic starts right next door to me. This is a sign.
Yeah, it was, dude.
It was a sign, because literally I was going to the Red Room all the time, and then Stephanie Robertson's like, "Hey, there's a mic in Round Lake." I'm like, "What?" And then that was like 2 months after that started, and then here we are. We all met each other.
Yeah, exactly. And Jack and I didn't, not that we didn't like each other, but we had a fight.
Had differences. Yeah,
we definitely had a kind of. I had to get loud. I
heckled him, and then he called me out, and I just felt so embarrassed. It's like, he's right.
But also when you were new.
Also, even before on stage, like, I don't know if he just had seen me do well at the mic or something and wanted to come up talk to me about his feelings on comedy and stuff. And he right away was telling me that, like, he thinks heckling is good for comedy, and heckling's good because of crowd work videos. Yep. And like, I was like, I promise you, I was like, just listen to the comics that you look up to and respect. Listen to them talk about crowd work and these videos on podcasts. And they talk it about like it's a necessary evil. Yeah. They're putting that stuff out because they don't want to burn their material. Right. And they know you got to keep putting out clips to get engagement, to sell tickets and things like that, but they don't want to burn their material. So that's why they put crowd work out. But they understand what it's creating. Right. People like Jack that think
it's so funny, immediately.
And it got to the point where we're going back and forth so much that I finally said, "Dude, why are you asking me? I'm just some loser I don't know." But like, go listen to the comics that you actually like and look up to. I promise you, they're gonna echo what I'm saying right now.
He was right.
And here he is 2 years later. Yeah. He didn't even have to say any of that. He's like, "Yep." Yep. Nope. You're right. Yeah.
But
it takes a lot of humbling.
That's like, I've talked about it before. Social media and a lot of comics talk about it too. Like the Matt Rife thing is good and bad for comedy because it's like, but everybody goes to a Matt Rife show thinking that that's his show. He's like, no. He's like, that's
smart enough. Honestly, when I hear his jokes and references, I'm like, dude, I have a better line for that. I have a better line for that.
Well, you have your line for that.
Well, that's what
you have your line for that. That's the difference between whether your line is better is actually the crowd's perception.
The only example I can think of, he met this one crowd person who is a WNBA player, and his mother was there. And he had this one joke where he was speaking of him, like, "How'd you not bring up Joanna Man?"
Yeah, I brought up Joanna Man a couple episodes ago. Joanna Man, what a good movie! What a good movie, I was talking about it with Luis, and I was like, Joanna Man. I said it was about a trans basketball player, but it's obviously about a drag queen basketball player. But I said it's about a trans basketball player, and Luis is like, yuck. I was like, Jesus, kid. Oh man, hanging out with all these young kids, man. I hang out with like Luis is like probably one of my go-to open mic partners because this one bails on me all the time.
Well, because those young ones have the stamina for it. You know, they can be out every night.
Well, I mean, in my defense,
you have a wife that can cook you food. I'm
not even that. In my defense, I'm injured from my job right now. So my day job is editing the podcast, taking care of my children, and then my wife lets me go. She said I can go out more if I want to, but I just love my kids too much. So I only go out like three is like the max. You'll find me going out, but that's if I'm spending the entire day with my kids. Mm-hmm. That's like a big conflict too. You know, like she would let me literally do 5 nights a week if I wanted to. But I just, you know, even if I'm hanging out with my kids all day, it's like I like spending time with her and the kids. You know, it's weird loving your wife. You know, having a fun family. You know, a lot of people, a lot of guys, a lot of people want to fucking get away from their family. I do everything I can to try to stay as close as I can, but it sucks with what I'm trying to pursue. It involves a lot of fucking driving and it involves a lot of fucking sitting and waiting for a 4-minute set.
Well, I mean, it's just the thing, you know, like to be the most successful dad and to master being a dad, it takes 100% of you.
Yeah.
To be a master comedian and absolutely master comedy, it takes 100% of you, but you don't have 200%.
And I don't have 300% because the podcast also takes another 100.
Exactly. You know, so it's about finding the right balance that just works for you.
It's going to be a challenge once I go back to work.
Seeing a little growth in all three.
Yeah.
You know, and if that's what your focus is, just trying to see a little growth from day to day in all three.
Yeah. And I mean, the biggest thing that I'm most self-conscious about, and it should be, is being a dad. That's like the biggest thing that I'm always worried about. It's like, fuck, did I spend enough time with my kids today? Am I okay to go to an open mic? And my wife points it out enough to say that if I didn't care so much, I wouldn't be a good dad. So if I was sitting there going out and being like, I'm not going out enough, actually, it would be a different story. But I'm,
well, that's
I'm trying to justify that I'm a good dad.
Yeah, well, that's the area with the highest stakes.
Right.
I mean, those are life and death stakes.
Yeah.
You know? You got to keep your kids alive, and you also got to make sure they don't turn into psychopaths.
Exactly. And at this
They're
point,
halfway there.
I was gonna say, at this point, dude, my kids are fucking hilarious, dude. My son Jonah is the funniest fucking kid in the world. He just gives me so much fucking material. It's just like he gives me so much material that I just have to break it down and figure out which was the funniest thing. Him fucking just dude, he's the funniest kid in the world. Being a dad is the coolest thing ever. My daughter just turned 1 on Friday, so that was huge. That's so cool.
He's got an aggressive arm. When I pegged him in the eye with one of the little bouncy balls, he turned around and sledged it right back at me.
Oh yeah, dude. Jonah's got an arm, dude. Jonah's got fucking one hell of an arm, and I think he's gonna be a golfer. He keeps telling me, like, we're watching football together. I'm like, do you want to play football? He's like, no, I want to play golf. I'm like, my man. He's
gonna be a drinker for sure.
No, he's not. He's not gonna be a drinker. He's gonna be a weed smoker because Dad's not gonna let him drink. But he's not gonna have Dad weeds.
He's growing up in Johnsburg. He's gonna be doing both.
Yes, very likely.
Your wife's gonna yell at you if the house smells like pot. It's gonna be your son's fault.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if my son's smoking weed in the house, I would hope I raised him better to know that he should at least go outside or at least use a fucking
spoof.
A spoof, yeah. A fucking dryer sheet. Do you know they make those now? Smoke buddies.
Smoke buddies. Yeah,
smoke buddy. It's like you know the spoof. Like toilet paper roll and dryer sheets.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. What did we call them?
We called them spoofs.
No, spliffs. Yeah, spoofs.
I think we called them Terminators. Terminators. I think that's. Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what we're talking about,
since I had to worry about that. It's dryer sheets in a paper towel or toilet paper roll.
So since I'm sure there's a bunch of kids out there now that they have vape pens, so they don't have to worry about the fucking smell.
Yeah.
So we had to smoke some fucking loud ass dirt weed.
It tastes like goddamn detergent.
Literally tastes like detergent because you have to make sure you double bag your weed before you wrap it in dryer sheets to keep the smell out. Tip for you kids: if you don't have to do that, you have fucking goddamn weed pens. But dude, literally, you fucking take. 4 dryer sheets, fucking put them in a goddamn toilet paper roll, get a rubber band or a fucking hair tie, blow it out the window, everybody can smell it. You think nobody can smell it, but they have a smoke buddy now. I saw recently, and you can, it just looks like a vape.
It's literally the same thing.
It looks like a vape, and you just blow it in there, and it comes out smelling clean.
Well, they have
can you imagine if you had did you smoke weed when you were in high school?
Yeah.
I used to smoke weed in the bathrooms in high school.
Did you smoke weed at school too?
No, not really. Like before
Can you imagine if you had a
waiting
pen?
for the bus and stuff like that.
Can you imagine if you had a weed
I'm
pen?
sure,
You had
I'm
weed
sure
on
they're
you.
smoking all day now.
Yeah.
Dude, are you kidding me? If I had a weed pen, I wouldn't be sober.
Oh, we had when vapes just came out, like the little blues.
I'd be sleeping all day.
cigarettes. Oh, that was
blue. Oh god,
Yeah.
blue. That
You
was the
learn
first
to-
e-cig, wasn't it? Blue and then Juul.
Yeah, you learn how to do the sleeve hit.
The sleeve hit. Like, what is he doing? Sucking on his sleeve for? God, you got a weird fucking habit. You gotta suck.
You
on
do the
your
pen
sleeve.
switch. You have a little pencil in there, and then when you're ready to hit it, you switch it out with your Juul.
I actually was looking into this. I was looking into this pen and vape combo, like the pen writes at the bottom, and then the
Yes, the the top.
That's pretty nice. The
Sounds
two most
fantastic.
important pens that I need. I have those
Hold on,
pens on me at
I
all
gotta
times.
recharge my pen before I do this test.
Not when I'm at work. Not when I'm at work.
No, dude, I totally just had the biggest brain fart you could ever have, and I don't know what I was gonna say. What are we at on time there, Jack?
An hour and 5.
Hour and 5. Wow. Do you have any shows you'd like to plug, my friend?
Yeah, actually, let's see here. On Valentine's Day, I'm at El Pariso in Loves Park for Marcos.
Marcos. Shout out Marcos Lara.
The 21st, I'm at Lincoln Lodge for Buena Onda.
Hell yeah.
22nd, Hope and Anchor for Jared Corey out in Rockford or Loves Park, excuse me. 7th and 8th, I'm hosting for Vince Carone in CG's Comedy Club.
Nice.
The 13th, March 13th, I am at the Round Lake Beach Cultural and Civic Center.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
March 15th, I'm at Parch Plug in Libertyville. March 22nd, Windsor Pizza Parlor in Loves Park. April 11th, Rockstar in Janesville, Wisconsin. And May 10th, I'm at Chicagoland Stand-Up at Hobart Art Theater in Hobart, Indiana.
All right. Shit.
Yeah.
Look at that. So, obviously, guys, he's packed full of shows. You can see him pretty much for the next 2 months. You can find him anywhere in the Lake and McHenry County area and Rockford. What county is that? Lee County? Is that Lee County?
Rockford is Winnebago County. Yeah,
County.
all across the state line.
All across the state and into Indiana. as
Follow
you can see,
Second
too.
Best Comedy for shows at Windsor Pizza Parlor, Final Girl Bar in Kenosha. I'm always looking for new venues. I'm looking for that perfect room. Definitely follow Super Sorry Party on Instagram. I got clips and reels up there and stuff.
Jack's pulled it up a few times now.
Yeah.
So he's Super Sorry Party on Instagram. Second Best Comedy on Facebook and Instagram, right?
Yeah, all of them. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. It's all Super Sorry Party.
Hell
Even
yeah.
on X, even though that's just for porn.
Porn, yeah, literally. It is literally just porn and hate crime. That's all it is.
I finally got my Instagram that is all art now. It's comedy,
There we
music, and art. It's not just big booty women anymore. So trying to keep all the porn confined to X.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much where you need to keep it, honestly. And off of your computers so you don't have any issues with your computers. I don't watch porn on that computer. I ran this on a Mac 2013
100%,
desktop.
Yep.
And I watched porn on that thing for the first 50 episodes.
Yeah, no, it's funny.
Not during the first 50 episodes, actually. No, I didn't watch it during the episodes. But like that Mac took. I was told that Macs couldn't crash. They can crash.
Yeah, no, that's bullshit. You need a condom.
If you have my search history, they can crash.
No, you need a condom for porn nowadays. You know,
Literally,
like,
it's bad.
I'm worried about getting viruses and shit on porn, so I basically just look for shit on Twitter now.
Seriously, I mean, dude, honestly, Twitter's like that's where you get the glimpse. That's where you get the glimpse of the OnlyFans girls.
Yeah.
That's where you get a glimpse of Sky Bree or Dainty Milder. I'm just kidding.
I live by the
I don't know who those people are.
Said. The only reason I have sex is so I can have something to masturbate to later.
That's good. That's good.
Speaking of that, I'll end it with a little quick story for you. When I was in the Army, I came home from training in Louisiana. I had my iPad. I was married at the time to my ex-wife. When I got out of AIT, basic training in AIT, we had filmed a sex tape in the shower. So imagine a 19-year-old me, ripped by the way, with dog tags on in the shower, just white guy hitting it from the back. Nothing impressive at all. About a 8-minute video. Okay. I get on the plane. My friends and I have been drinking in the terminal all fucking day. I pass out on the fucking plane. My iPad doesn't have a password on it, mind you. I left my iPad on the plane. Somebody has a sex tape of me.
Oh shit!
Banging my ex-wife in the old shower with my dog tags on. But good thing they had the rubber around him, so you couldn't hear clink 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 the whole time. But yeah, no, that was since you
guys heard the trickle of the water from the shower, right?
Oh, of course, of course. Well, since you said password protected porn and stuff, I was like, yeah, this is not password protected at all. And I hope that somebody can see my slightly above average wiener.
That's where you go viral.
Dude, if that's where I went viral of all the clips I've put out, I put it like a 240 fucking posts now on Instagram, something like that. And if my
shitty
porn went viral, I'd take it. Honestly, I'd take it and run with it. But
that means you have to start an OnlyFans.
Yeah, right. OnlyFan. Well, with that being said, I think that does it for this week of Torgy Talk. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
I thought we were going to do some improv games.
Oh, fuck. Do we want to do one? Should we do one?
Yeah.
Let's do. Okay, we have to. Thank you for reminding me. We've been ending each episode with sex with me is like.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
I mean, I've seen the podcast before. You
just basically he gives us a word. You say sex with me is like whatever that is, and you just make up a joke about it.
All
right. Sex with me is like a Home Depot.
Sex with me is like a Home Depot. There's a line of Latinas waiting outside.
Fuck. Damn it. I was going to say sex with me is like Latina, or Jesus, like Latinos. Sex with me is like Home Depot. I have to. Go ahead.
I'm sure this is fun, but all this does is encourage low hanging fruit.
It does.
I'm like panicking right there, and you go to the easiest fucking joke you can make.
All right, go. Let's start another one.
Home Depot?
No, another word. Another word.
I wanted to say Home Depot is like Home Depot is like sex. I always hire someone from there.
That works.
All right.
Give me another word. You're good.
Sex with me is like a parade.
Sex with me is like a parade. Hopefully there's no rainbows around. Oh boy. Sorry guys. That was just, I'm on the spot. What do you want?
Sex with me is like a parade. There's a lot of loud noises and people holding their ears.
I shouldn't say that one. I was going to say, sex with me is like a parade. You probably find children there.
Oh boy.
See, that's what goes through your head away because it's a low hanging fruit, and I'm like, not again.
Yeah,
not again.
Sex
My
with
face
me
is on camera.
Exactly.
They don't know what you look like.
You look like a pedophile.
Shucks.
All right, I'm gonna do sex with me is like a parade. Usually there's floats going by, root beer floats. I like ramp. I don't know. It's kind of a hard game, It's iffy.
Sex with me is like parade. Usually I pass around beads.
Nice. Fuck yeah, that's a good one.
Sex with me is a parade. It requires permits.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. We'll just wrap it up there. We don't need to try any harder. We're reaching now at this point.
We clip enough.
Yeah. All right. Well, like I said, thank you so much for coming, dude. Appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me. It was fun. I was worried about it. I was like, I don't think I'm going to talk much.
No,
I'm worried.
No, this is
John's going to talk the whole time.
No, you did great, man.
He does do that often.
Yeah. Because I didn't write anything before. And I was like, fuck.
Oh, neither do we.
Yeah, obviously. But yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week with another guest. So adios, motherfucker.
Are we having the comic guy or the
who?
Who's the guy coming next week?
No. So actually, the next episode of Torgy Talk is going to be a bonus episode. I'm putting out John Gutierrez's episode. He owns Cosmic Destroyer's collectible shop in Milwaukee. He's our guest. That's going to be coming out on Sunday because we got AJ Leidick coming on the next week. We got a couple guests. We're getting a week ahead. But that other one, I don't want to be 2 weeks ahead because I don't want to be too irrelevant for the comics coming on, trying to plug shows and stuff. So I'm only going to be a week ahead. So
I guess I didn't think about that.
So the John Gutierrez show is going to be coming out as a bonus episode on Sunday because it's not comedy related. I want to respect the comics that want to come on here and plug their
episode. Then
exactly. I want to give the comics the chance to actually like Nick Hannick is coming on the next week next week, and he's got a show that's on like March 6th, and his episode is pushed to the 28th, so it's perfect. So I don't want to I want to keep people within that 2 week range. Like, hey, you can promote shit for next week.
Podcasting. Yeah,
that's what it's about, baby. So, like I said, you guys probably didn't need to hear all that. I could probably talked about that after we pressed.
You probably signed off and we said goodbye.
Yeah, but you know what? I like dragging it out. So we'll see you next week. Bye.
Adios.
This episode was brought to you by Fat Candle Company. That's right. you've made it to the point where we're going to give you a discount code for your order at fatcandlecompany.com. So yeah, go ahead, go to fatcandlecompany.com, use the promo code FATTORGY, that's FATTORGY at checkout, and you'll get yourself 10% off your order. Once again, that's FATTORGY, FATTORGY at the checkout to get yourself 10% off. fatcandlecompany.com.